Welcome back to the GameWisp Weekly Podcast, filmed in the style of public access television.
Welcome.
Yes.
Welcome.
This is part 2. We told you at the top of the episode that we would be talking about the 2014 year for GameWisp as a company, kind of what we went through and what we did. And as we reflected on what we did and why, we realized that big changes with GameWisp kind of happened with the seasons. Yeah. So this will be a story in 4 parts, and part 1, I think, is pretty much January through March. So lead us off, Mr. Anderson.
All right.
What were we doing a year ago today-ish?
Sounds good. So I think the Q1 was really set up by what happened in the last month or so of 2013. That's very far back. But we've been doing this for a while. And I think I would describe, before I even really get into the specifics, I would describe this first month as a transitionary period for us, but also a very important catalyst for the rest of the year and what we've been up to, or the rest of the year of 2014. And so in the bottom half of 2013, we were building completely different things than the gaming video platform you've come to know and love. And that software was a backup tool for
PC save games.
PC save games. So we were building sort of like a Dropbox thing for video game files, right?
Yeah,
so you could keep your saves and transfer them to different computers, and they would be backed up to the cloud no matter where you bought the game. Yeah, you could share them with other people. And through a variety of features that we built, we stumbled upon people that were sharing gaming video. And so we had each, all the people on the GameWisp team had different content creators on YouTube that we loved and watched and really spent a lot of time enjoying, whether that be, just in our own spare time or things we enjoyed with other friends. But what we didn't realize until we dug into it was this massive, massive market of people watching, sharing, enjoying, collaborating on gaming video. And so that was a big realization for us. And we, as far as our software goes, some of the tools we built to share led people to start sharing gaming video on our site. And so we saw a lot of usage there, and we started asking people questions. We started learning about gaming video, what it was about. We started talking to creators. We started talking to viewers. And not in, I think, in a capacity as much as we would today if we were like starting to launch a product.
For sure.
But we did like start asking questions and start building towards something that would serve the needs of gaming video content creators.
Right.
But it was interesting as a company to try and run this thing when we were all doing other things as our main job.
Yeah, right. Like, I was in graduate school, so I was researching 12 hours a day and GameWisping 8 hours a night. It was terrible. You were in the same boat, right?
Yeah.
Andrew and Aaron were both in Houston working their day jobs, and so we were trying to take this opportunity to build something in like squeezing into the wee hours of the morning.
That's right.
Learned a hard lesson that way. It's very, very tough to build a good product of enormous scope when you're doing it from the hours of 10 p.m. to 2 a.m.
That's exactly
every
right.
single day. Yeah. So that was a big realization. As we went through development, just to pick up the thread here, we ended up dropping the cloud saving stuff. Still on a shelf somewhere. Who knows? Maybe it'll come back someday.
That's right.
But we said, okay, well, let's focus on gaming video and see what happens.
Yeah.
So around, February or March, we sort of built and released this really rudimentary platform where you could take YouTube gaming videos as a content creator and sort of order them better, arrange them as series, and basically just have a place where you could come and like congregate around your gaming video.
Exactly.
And we kind of opened that on a whim.
Yeah.
One day we were just like, hey, let's just tell like 10 people and see what happens.
Right.
And it got on Twitter, it got on Reddit, and by the end of the first day, we had like, how many videos linked from YouTube?
Like 50,000.
Yeah, like something like 50,000 videos were linked and like organized into series or whatever, and it was crazy. It was crazy the amount of uptake. The problem was, 2 developers working nights and some weekends trying to make this happen just could not address it. We couldn't handle that sort of initial scale. We couldn't handle, developing a rock solid, stable platform for this kind of stuff because we were moving so fast and we're so distracted. And so it was like, it was a huge letdown in a lot of ways. I mean, I'll be honest. It was a huge letdown to have that platform and not be able to get it to its full potential.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we really built that in, a few weeks, I would say.
Yeah.
And so to see that reaction and that huge uptake initially was like our signal from the market that, this is something here.
Yeah, there needs to be a solution for a problem. And I think that started our journey on I think, two major things, which was finding out what the right problem for this market was, but also building relationships with the people that are creating content in the market. That's been a big piece of our year this year. And in the first quarter of the year was a big thing for us, which was GameVid Expo, which was this conference that I don't think happened or is happening this year to my knowledge, but happened last year in Atlanta. We went down there and spent some time with some people we know in the industry, a company called Iron Gaming. And because we went down there and we're spending some time with them, we were able to get the chance to meet a lot of people in the YouTuber space at this event in person and have real conversations with them, have some drinks with them, have some meals with them in a way that let us share about what we were doing, our passion for them and passion for empowering them, and then hear what their concerns were about their own creative enterprises and also their their take on what we were building. And I think that was a big turning point for us, and that started some relationships that really have paid off throughout the year. And
it's like we built a thing, and we knew that like this gaming video thing was happening, and so we built it, we launched it, and we had this response. It was enormous, and it was like, oh wow, this is totally unexpected. We should get to the heart of this. And so going to GameVid Expo was the ability to get to the heart of that and figure out that there are a lot of like really sort of deep emotional things going on here around people's money and their livelihood and their definition of themselves as artists and the things they create and they make, and like how they're trying to shoehorn all that into like the domain of YouTube and online media and trying to make it work. And we realized, wow, there are problems here, big problems, and big problems that we can solve. For sure.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that led us into the next season of GameWisp. And we were moving out of GameVid Expo. We're moving out of launching this thing and trying to keep up with the demands on our time from all different sides, our like day jobs, but also trying to keep up and fix bugs and really trying to also put time into understanding the market and all these things we had to do. We're running out of time and resources, honestly. And there came this point where something needed to happen, or honestly, we probably weren't going to be able to continue along this path.
And we had no money.
And
the internet costs money.
It does, apparently. The cloud that we're on. And so what happened to us was we looked at how can we bring on some outside partners to help us grow not only as a company but also as a business, and would anybody take us on? That's the trick. Not only like would we like to have you, yes, but will you have us? And so we had an incredible opportunity to go to this program in Chicago called Techstars. Now, Techstars is a organization that helps young companies, specifically young teams of entrepreneurs that have ideas in great, huge markets and that have opportunities to grow and interesting things with different, media or technology, to have mentorship, to have funding, to have the opportunity to present their idea to investors after they've worked on it through a period of time. And so that was our summer, and so we kind of skipped over Q2, but Q2 was really that period where we, and Q2 means quarter two, but that period where we were like trying to figure out how do we address the need of the market with our limited amount of time. And because we had such a huge reaction to the first stab of the product, that was like a big part of what interested Techstars in taking a chance on us, I think.
Yeah, and I think quarter two is when we came to the realization, like, what this would look like if it was a full-blown actual business. Right? And, what would this look like? How to make money? What would it cost money? And you just come to the realization that, like, one, we can't do this on nights and weekends. It's too all-encompassing of a platform. It's doing a lot of stuff. Two people can't manage this in the wee hours of the morning. And two, even if they could manage it, delivering and distributing video is expensive. And so a lot of companies that maybe have a great idea around video can be dead in the water if they don't have funding, because you just can't pay for it up front. You can have people tell you, well, like, this such and such took a $5,000 loan on a credit card and started his business. And it's like, that would pay for maybe a month of hosting, maybe, if you've got traction, probably less. And so, you just think within the realms of feasibility, like, it's one of those companies that just needs investment. Some do and some don't. And looking at the numbers and making this a legitimate business, we realize that. And so that sort of propelled our thinking that like we have to find investment or we don't know what we're going to do with this. And then, you know, we were lucky enough to make it to Techstars and spend the brunt of the summer killing ourselves to emerge as something that resembled a business.
That's right.
At least in the public access variety.
That's right. That's exactly right. And I think the biggest thing for me was, I guess there's two big things, you know, when I think about it of why Techstars is such a huge thing for us as business people, like personally, but also as a business in general. I could probably name like 20 things why it was good, but two things that really stick out were the ability to move to do this full time. Like that totally changed the trajectory of the business of what we were able to accomplish, the features we were able to create, the interviews and understanding from the market that we were able to suss out. You know, even just having the opportunity to be at PAX Prime, at RTX, at you know, other conferences during the summertime, really gave us that opportunity to learn from the content creators. So that full-time focus was incredibly important for us. And then really it was about getting to work with incredible people.
Of course.
I think that probably made the most difference out of anything.
Yeah, man, you surround yourself with really smart people so they can tell you when you're being stupid. Right? And that summed up our summer in a nutshell. And so what did we do there as a company? Well, we we tried to get to the heart of like why this video is compelling. Like why are people watching so much of this video? Why is it so good? And we came to a conclusion that it was around interaction and more like this idea of celebrity and how important celebrity was. And so we decided to build a product called the Watch Room. And so some people may have used the Watch Room. We spent the summer building it, reaching out to creators, having them use it. We saw success there. In the Watch Room, you could show off a video. You could control the playback of a video for everyone watching it at the same time. And there was a chat there so people could chat with you. And then we embedded sort of a live feed of the creators' webcam and audio so they could talk and answer questions. You know, and so we built this thing and we got it in the hands of creators and they used it and they made some money, you know, through collecting tips in the Watch Room or whatever. You know, they could make a little money here and there, that kind of thing. And what happened?
And it was great.
It was great. No, it wasn't. It was great. It wasn't great enough. And this is.
I guess that's really, you know, I'm joking. The heart of what the Watch Room is a incredible piece of technology that empowers creators to give their fans an engaging experience that they can't get anywhere else. It's different than a stream. It's different than YouTube comments. It's different than just a random chat room because it's centered around that person. You know, and that goes back to our lesson of gaming video content creators, the gaming personalities, gaming celebrities. The core reason, we talked about this in the first half of this podcast of, you know, the big thing about 2014 was the gaming celebrities. And I think that idea was really powerful in that we were able to leverage that with the Watch Room. But it wasn't the full solution to the problem that the content creators were facing.
Yeah, because interaction is only part of the problem. And so we'd solve part of the problem. You know, and to take a step back and look at, okay, well, what are these problems plaguing creators? Like interaction is one. They want to reach out. They want to have a connection with their fans. But they also just need good ways to distribute content. They need ways to distribute content that gets around ad-supported models. You know? But they still need those methods to be ecosystem friendly. Right? Like they're not leaving YouTube. They're never going to leave. They can't. And so it's like, how do we work in that ecosystem? And so I think by the end of Techstars, we were coming to the conclusion that the Watch Room in and of itself solves an important problem with interaction that you can't get anywhere else, but it doesn't yet solve all the problems in a compelling way. Or it doesn't satisfy a creator enough to where it comes into a part of their routine. Like maybe I'll do a Watch Room once every 2 weeks, you know, and I'll make a little money but I'll keep producing content every single day. I'll keep distributing content on YouTube every single day. Because that's what pays the bills. And so it's coming to that realization and knowing that, okay, well, this is good and it works and it's helpful, but we have to do more if we want to really solve problems for these people.
And I think that's been, you know, that leads us into our sort of like Q4, which was coming out of Techstars, coming, you know, out of bringing on partners to help us push the business forward, having the breathing room again, like moving, we went from part-time or less than part-time to full-time, and now really to have the space to think, okay, we built the Watch Room, we built this compelling interactive experience that we believe is a part of our ecosystem or what GameWisp is. And how do we take that watch room and turn it into a piece of an experience that invades the content creator's everyday workflow?
Right.
And I say invade, but what I mean is that can we build tools, because that's what we build is self-service software tools.
We're ultimately
for content creators, right? How do we build those sorts of tools in a way that is not just once a week or twice a month experience that they give their content creators, but an everyday thing that helps them, that saves them time, helps them make more money, helps them monetize their brand directly to consumers. And this is Q4 has been awesome because we've had this space to really conceive that in a practical way, even though we sort of had the vision for that for the last 6 months. It's really like, let's sit down and figure out what that is with our content creator partners and with the development staff that we have now.
And I mean, we had an ill-formed idea, I think, in quarter one. It was like, we're solving an important problem here. Let's get to the heart of what it is, which we did. And we solved for part of it, and now we've got to solve the rest of it. Because, ultimately, these people work so much. Like content creators pursuing this, even part-time, man, they're working, 6, 8, 10, 12 hours a day, man, to show this content. It's like, we can do this better. We can make a system that is better for you as a creator because it's faster. It's more efficient to work this way. To work this way for the kind of content you make. Not necessarily the kind of content a chef or a fashion blogger makes, but the kind of content you make. It works better for that. It's faster, and we can get you outside of this cycle of content, ad revenue. We can pull you out of that and give you the platform that you need and that you deserve, and can give you some of your life back. And I think that's the core driving passion of me as a developer on this product. It's like, I can make this thing and it can change your daily life. It's not some huge life-altering thing, but it's going to save you 30 minutes or an hour or 2 hours in your day where you can make more content. Or it's going to say, I can make more money off this content. I don't have to work as hard. I can get my life back. I think that's a really compelling thing. And that's the problem ultimately we want to solve. It's not delivering video. It's not letting you make money in a different way. It's not saving you 30 minutes because we can do things in a series-based fashion in our UI and it makes more sense for the content you make. No, it's we want to give you your life back. We want to save you more time. That's what we care about.
And because by saving them time, they can create more content, or if they so desire, like you said, that concept is so good. Like giving you your life back as a content creator, the tools that we provide can let you either grow your business as crazy high as you want, or give you a sustainable income, a sustainable revenue stream, a sustainable engagement model with your fans, so that you can spend the amount of time you want to spend on your channel and be able to have a career doing it. I think that's a big thing for us.
You can work to live, right?
That's
not live to work. And I think it's important. Like we said earlier, earlier at the top of this podcast, someone's gonna do this. Someone's gonna figure out at least the monetization portion, and they're gonna say, "Oh, look, we can monetize directly." I want it to be us. For two reasons. One is that I want it to be us because this is my business and I want to feed myself. But the other is that through dealing with these creators, talking to these creators, being a person myself that makes things, right? We develop software, we make products, and we want to be compensated for those so we can live, right? I always want GameWisp to kind of have the creator's best intentions at heart, and I don't know if another huge faceless platform will. Maybe it will. I don't know. Maybe YouTube will take monetization to some new greater level, and it'll be totally creator friendly. But until that day happens, I'm not gonna hold my breath. Until that day happens, I want this to be us because I think. Well, I'll just say it. I think we're the good guys in this fight. I really think we are. I think we're on the right side of this. And if we're not, at this point, we're small enough where any creator can yell at us and we'll change our mind. That's another important aspect of it. I want this to happen to benefit creators, and I want it to be us.
And I think that we're on track to put out our best solution for this problem that we've ever had.
True.
You look back, and to me, it's amazing that almost a year ago, we launched, it was end of February, last weekend of February last year when we launched the first ever public version of gaming video, GameWisp. And coming back and thinking about all that we learned in the last 12 months across our own lessons, across, people moving halfway across the country to be a part of this full time, for us all moving up to Chicago to really go after this, or work with Steve and Troy and Sam and all the great people up there, you know, tech stars that we worked with over the summer, you know, just like, and then coming back here and really trying to execute on what we learned over the year and what our vision was. I just think we've learned so much. I'm excited to put another version out again and see what happens.
Yeah. Will it be perfect? No.
No.
Will it be good? We hope.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, that's another thing. Like we want to iterate on that, right? It's building this platform, building a platform to distribute video, to handle monetization. You know, to do that at scale, to do that in a self-service kind of way is really hard.
Yeah.
Turns out it's tough. It's a big problem. There are a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
And so, you know, at this point in the game, like, we want that out in the world.
Yeah.
We want feedback. We want to make this not only technologically the best it could be for the creators with their feedback, but like as a consumer-oriented thing, as a business, we want it to be friendly. As friendly as it can be toward these content creators, because we understand that, hey, you're like the workhorse, right? You are the ones producing content that's making someone money. It may as well be you. Yeah. And so that's where we are, and that's what I hope to see in 2015.
Yeah, because this year has started, and we're getting ready to launch the next iteration of GameWisp. It's coming up soon in the next couple weeks. We're going to have something out the door, and not just something, but something really great. I personally think
hope so.
It's comprehensive. It hits all the different pieces we think fit our vision about the consistent monetization, providing channels that content creators make money and interact with their fans. And so, you know, that's kind of what I see our year is going to be all about. Is we've got a product that we think fits our vision, that also we think solves the problems that content creators have. You know, we spend a lot of time with gaming video content creators.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it was really every step of the way, you know, like we developed this idea of the way we thought problems needed to be solved.
Yeah.
We went into our hidey holes. We clanked away on keyboards for like 4 months because it was really hard.
Yeah.
And then we came out the other side, and we went back to those creators and we said, is this it?
Yeah.
And the ones we have talked to so far have said, yes, this is it.
Yeah.
Or you're knocking on the door. Like, this is really close. So at least it wasn't in a bubble, you know, and that's why I'm even more confident that we're solving the right problems.
Yeah.
I will plug us for a second just to say that we always want more input.
Yeah.
Right? And so if there's any interest at all for helping us here, you can drop us a line at info at GameWisp.com, and just let us know that you're interested in taking part in the testing of this platform, working with this platform.
Yeah.
Give us a link to your YouTube channel. We don't care how big you are. We don't care what you're doing. All we care about is that you're producing content consistently, so we can see how well your workflow works with the tools we've designed.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so, you know, going forward this year, we're going to be spending a lot of time out and about, less in the hidey hole and more out sharing what we've built and trying to bring value to content creators through the tools we've built and the platform we have. So, you know, we're going to be at PAX South. We're going to be spending time. We'll have a booth there. So if you see this before that, come by and have a conversation with us. We can show you what we've built. We're going to be letting content creators in the door in the next couple weeks, over the course of the next couple weeks.
For sure.
So keep an eye out for that. And then we're going to be, you know, at all the major conferences throughout the year, the other PAXs, RTX, and a lot of other conferences in between. So we'd love to have conversation with you. You know, once we launch, you know, we'll be open to everybody. Like Eli said, regardless of channel size, we'd love to work with you. We'd love to share with you what we've built.
Yeah. I mean, really, if there are 1 million people that'll give you money for your content, or one person and it's your mom, we facilitate that.
Yeah.
Right. So we try to be as sort of, what's the word? Not even democratic, but just like open with that as possible. Like it's on you. We provide the tools, and then, you know, you can use those tools to monetize however you'd like.
Yeah, for sure. So I think that about covers everything for a year. We had an amazing year. 2014 was incredibly life-changing for our business, for us personally. We hope that it was a great year for you as well, with your channel, with your personal life as well. And we're looking forward to an awesome 2015.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to what happens with gaming video. We're looking forward to seeing who it is that is small now, who's big at the end of 2015.
For sure.
We hope that we're a part of some of that growth and some of that sustainability for a lot of the channels. And we look forward to sharing more about our journey throughout this year. We're going to be doing podcasts every week. We'll be putting out content to try and help you, mature your channel, share some of the lessons we learned from channels that we work with. Right. And so we hope that you take part in sharing what we've learned, share stuff with us, and
or just yell at us.
That's also true.
That's so future podcasts, are we still going public access?
I think so.
Oh, nice.
We may upgrade our some of our equipment. Maybe the backdrop.
Nah, it's totally good. All right, guys, that is it for the GameWisp Weekly Podcast. Thank you for joining us. This has been the 2014 Gaming Video Year in Review. We hope you guys liked it, and we'll see you next time.
Yep, and don't forget to like it, subscribe, and comment.
No,
yes.
no,
yes,
no, don't.
See you later.